Bioscience, TSRJC, Vangara, Varangal Urban District. Before starting the class, let me give you some guidelines. Please make a note of whatever class you are hearing in a notebook. Then afterwards, assignment will be given at the end of the session. That assignment you need to complete and finish. Your responsible concerned subject teacher is going to check your work and the feedback will be given to us. If you are doing well with all these webinar classes, your name will be announced in the next session. So children, follow, listen carefully, properly. And today we'll begin with the second chapter, biological classification. In biological classification yesterday, I have started about how the classification is important. Two kingdom classification given by Aristotle, continued by Carolus Linnaeus. Then three kingdom classification given by Ernest Haeckel. Four kingdom classification given by Copeland. Finally, the five kingdom classification given by R.H. Whittaker. Till date, it is clear cut for easy understanding of any living organism, whether it may be a eukaryote or prokaryote, unicellular or multicellular. So we will continue the same topic, and six kingdom classification is also there, but we are following five kingdom classification. I have started the kingdom Monera yesterday and was unable to complete it. Kingdom Monera, these are prokaryotes, bacteria. Bacteria, there are four types. Here we are having archaebacteria, eubacteria, mycoplasma, and actinomycetes. Archaebacteria are the primitive one which we have discussed so far. They can survive in extreme conditions, extreme hot and cold conditions. And eubacteria, the modern bacteria, they are different types based on the nutrition, like photosynthetic or chemosynthetic, saprophytic, decomposers. So we'll continue with the same slide today, and I'll be sharing my screen with you. Follow it. So the kingdom Monera. In this kingdom Monera, we have finished the archaebacteria. Then we just moved on to the eubacteria type, and you are having the autotrophic and heterotrophic types, the photosynthetic or chemosynthetic, the parasitic and saprophytic. So we'll continue with the previous slide, cyanobacteria. So cyanobacteria are blue-green algae. They are also called as blue-green algae. Algae is the term referred to any photosynthetic cell. So here, nostoc is given here. Nostoc, it is an example for filamentous body of cyanobacteria, having number of cells here. It will be in the form of filament. These are photosynthetic, unicellular, colonial, filamentous, aquatic or terrestrial. And chlorophyll A, similar to that of green plants, is present. Because these are prokaryotes, they are not included in plantae kingdom as a plant. These are prokaryotes only. And central cell will be having, central part of the cell will be having colorless protoplasm with chromatin material. Chromatin is a genetic material. There is no nucleus. Remember that. And the peripheral is pigmented, chromoplasm. Chromoplasm means colorful. Why it is colorful? Because of the presence of chlorophyll A pigment. Apart from this chlorophyll A pigment, it also has xanthophyll and carotenoids that is going to give the color. And cell wall is surrounded with gelatin sheath or mucilaginous sheath. As you can see, this is the reason when during favorable conditions, when you have a large, huge number of cyanobacteria in the water bodies, it is called algal bloom. Now, hormogonia is nothing but fragmentation, means breaking into pieces. It is the mode of asexual reproduction, as well as thick-walled akinets are also formed in this. One more interesting feature of this nostoc is heterocyst. You can see heterocyst. It is specialized cell. It is a specialized cell for fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. Flagella are absent during vegetative or reproductive phase. And red color of Red Sea. Red Sea is present above the Africa continent. There you can see the red color of the Red Sea is because of Trichodesmium erythraeum. This Trichodesmium erythraeum is going to have red color. That's why it is called red color of Red Sea is because of this cyanobacteria called Trichodesmium. Now we'll move on to another one, which is also photosynthetic, not photosynthetic, which is also autotrophic, that is chemosynthetic, deriving the energy from chemical substances. And these are called chemosynthetic autotrophs. These bacteria, they derive the ATP from the chemicals, and they play a great role in recycling of nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, and iron. The other type of eukaryotes are, eubacteria are heterotrophic bacteria. Hetero means depending on other type of food. They are mainly saprophytes. Saprophyte means dead and decaying organic matter they are going to derive the energy from. You can see the curdling of milk, lactic acid bacillus is because of this bacteria only. And one more important thing is production of antibiotics can be done by such type of heterotrophic bacteria. Here, one more thing you can recall in your earlier classes, you have learned about the nitrogen fixing bacteria. What is that nitrogen fixing bacteria? Rhizobium bacteria. In the root of leguminous plants, root nodules are formed. These root nodules will be having rhizobium bacteria that is responsible for fixing atmospheric nitrogen. So in this manner, these eubacteria are useful. But these are also pathogens. Eubacteria are some types are pathogens. They are going to cause disease, particularly in human beings. A wide variety of diseases you can see: cholera, typhoid, tetanus, and in plants also citrus canker. In citrus plant, they are going to cause. Next, mycoplasma. You can see here mycoplasma is one type of moneron. In this, PPLO is the mycoplasma, pleuropneumonia-like organism. And other slide, other picture you are seeing about eggs. A big, huge egg of ostrich egg is placed along with the normal eggs of hen. You can see the size of the egg is very large. That means ostrich egg, it is the largest cell. It is the largest cell on this planet. And the smallest cell is the PPLO. Imagine how small it may be. So it got the position here, the smallest living cell, pleuropneumonia-like organism. So to remember what is the smallest cell, I have given this image for you of an ostrich egg cell. These are pathogens. Their work is causing disease, and they are pleomorphic. Their shape will be changing. They are pleomorphic. And let us see what type of diseases they are going to give. They are going to cause witch's broom in plants and pleuropneumonia in cattle and mycoplasma urethritis in human beings. So this is about mycoplasma, a small group. And next, actinomycetes. This is also very important. This is a branched and filamentous group where when it is cultured in bacterial culture, radiating colonies will form, and the cell wall contains mycolic acid and saprophytes and decomposers basically. So they are going to be saprophyte and decomposers, and some of them are parasitic in nature, causing diseases like mycobacterium and corynebacterium. And the most important thing of this is antibiotics can be produced from these actinomycetes in bacterial culture. And the genus, particularly the streptomyces, is very important one. With this, we complete our kingdom Monera. The bacterial kingdom, first kingdom is finished. Now, we'll move on to the next second kingdom, that is the protist. Kingdom Protista. So, in this kingdom Protista, you are going to learn about unicellular eukaryotes. Unicellular eukaryotes. So, for monerans, you have learned they are unicellular prokaryotes, means without nucleus. Now, you are beginning with eukaryotes, which are eukaryotes, like the kingdom Protista. In this Protista, the term Protista was coined by Ernest Haeckel. The members of Protista are primarily aquatic. Aquatic means immediately the water bodies on earth must come to your mind. And 79% is water, 21% is soil. So 79% means imagine how many Protista will be present in these water bodies. The population will be very huge, high. Okay, that means we can say that they stand to be the first in conducting photosynthetic activity. 80% of the photosynthetic activity is done because of this Protista. Protista includes chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. So here, the kingdom Protista, it has three types. If you see next part of this slide, you can understand. Yeah, this one, kingdom Protista. In your textbook, it is given chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. So for clear vision, you can have a look. It can be classified based on nutrition. The photosynthetic Protista. The absorptive Protista means heterotrophs. The ingestive Protista, that means the saprophytes. So just hold on and just think about the classification, 5 kingdom classification. In that you have the third, fourth, fifth kingdoms, the plantae, fungi, animalia. So the same thing you can see here. You may get a doubt here. Why these are not placed in plantae, animalia, or fungi? There is a reason, and that reason is nothing but this unicellular feature. This is unicellular. This is not multicellular. So the single cell eukaryotes are placed in this Protista. So we will learn in detail in the next slide in a clear-cut way about this photosynthetic protist. Photosynthetic protist, under this we have the chrysophytes, the golden algae. Example is the diatoms. The pyrophytes, pyro means fire. The fire algae. That means, example here, dinoflagellates. Euglenophyta. Euglenophyta, example is euglena. And you know that euglena, how it was struggling. It was unable to get a position in plantae kingdom or animalia. But in third kingdom classification, you have seen the Protista, it has given it a position and placed in photosynthetic protist, unicellular eukaryotes. So here we find this euglena because it is both plant-like and animal-like. Plant-like photosynthetic, animal-like not having cell wall at all. So next, protozoan protist. Protozoan protist means animal-like. They are based on the locomotory organ, they are classified. Pseudopodia is present. Then it is called Sarcodina. These are amoeboid protists. Example is amoeba and amoeba histoltica. Next, ciliata. Ciliata is nothing but example paramecium. Paramecium will be having cilia. Paramecium will be having the cilia. Cilia are hair-like structures present all over the body. Okay. Next one is Trypanosoma gambins. Example. That is for zooflagellata. Zooflagellata means they'll be having the flagella. The flagella will be the locomotory organ. So a simple diagram of this one I will draw. Trypanosoma gambins. It will be having the flagella starting here, and this flagella will be all over the body, ending up here. Some membranous sheath will be present. Okay, this is a structure of trypanosoma gamins. It is a zooflagellate having a flagella which is attached all over the lengthwise of the body. Next, sporozoans. Sporozoans are not having any locomotory organ. They are endoparasites. Endoparasites means inside the body of any living organisms, they are going to survive. And example is Plasmodium. Plasmodium, the name sporozoan is given because, you know, Plasmodium parasite, it will be having a sporophytic, it will be like a spore in one part of its life cycle. It will be taking shelter in mosquito as well as human beings. So human beings and mosquitoes are the host for this endoparasite called Plasmodium, which you are going to learn in detail. Let us move on to the next, saprophytic protist. Saprophytic protists are the fungi type, but these are not placed in fungus because these are unicellular. And here slime molds. Slime molds is an example, or a slime mold. In that we are having an example, Plasmodium. Don't get confused with this Plasmodium and that of sporozoan Plasmodium, because this Plasmodium is nothing but group of cells. You know, all these are unicellular eukaryotes, group of cells. They'll be having mucilaginous sheath. Okay, gelatin sheath, mucilaginous sheath, and they are going to form a huge big mass, and this mass of cells is called Plasmodium. Okay, but it is not an organism. It is group of or aggregate of all these unicellular cells is called as Plasmodium in the slime molds. So let us learn in detail one after other about these. Before that, I want to clarify something to you. Algae. This term in the Moneran kingdom, cyanobacteria, just now I have discussed cyanobacteria. It is a prokaryote. And in this Protista kingdom also, photosynthetic algae is there. Photosynthetic algae is there. And also in the Plantae kingdom also, you find algae members. This term is given for the organisms or cells which are capable of undertaking photosynthesis. And you can see the monerans, the blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, it is a prokaryotic unicellular organism which undertakes photosynthesis. Protista. In Protista also you have the golden algae, the fire algae, diatoms. These are eukaryotic cells. These are unicellular but eukaryotic cells, unlike the monerans. And the third type, the Plantae. In the Plantae kingdom, you will be seeing the green, red, brown algae. They are multicellular eukaryotes. Okay, these are prokaryote, single celled. That means unicellular, monerans. And Protista are eukaryotes and they are also unicellular. Whereas these algal members are eukaryotes but multicellular. Multicellular means mass of cells will be there like this. Okay, this is called thallus. In other terminology, in the algae, we call it as thallus, because thallus will not have any root system, shoot system like the trees, herbs, and shrubs. That's why a separate group called algae is introduced in the Plantae kingdom. I hope you got a clarification with this thing. Why we are using the term algae? It is to represent photosynthetic activity in the cells or organisms. Next, some of the characteristics of algae are they are aquatic, they are autotrophic in nature due to the presence of chlorophyll pigment, and they are unicellular. All of them are unicellular sex organs. Single celled organisms generally they will be having the sex organ, means the cell is going to participate in sexual mode of reproduction. So it is a single unicellular sex organ, and that too non-jacketed. No jacket or membrane cover is provided. Gametophytic and sporophytic phases can be seen in this, and gametophyte being the dominant one. Now coming to the actual learning about these kingdom Protista. In kingdom Protista, you are having chrysophytes given in your book, golden algae. These are the diatoms. Diatoms, you can see the picture, circular and rectangular will be present based on the symmetry. These are microscopic, cannot be seen with our naked eyes. They are minute, very minute. These diatoms are the producers of ocean bodies. They are photosynthesizing and they are becoming a food for the zooplankton. The smallest zooplankton will be consumed by the small fishes, further medium-sized fishes or large-sized fishes, whatsoever. The producers of the ocean bodies is our diatoms only. That's why they are called floating pastures of the sea. So next year, they are found in freshwater and marine. Cell wall is deposited with silica. Silica, cell wall will be having silica deposition. And this silica is indestructible. And that's why when these cells are going to die, they are going to form the diatomaceous earth or Kieselguhr. And it is also used for polishing, filtration of oils and syrups. And you can see there is no flagella. It cannot move with a locomotory organ. If it can move with a locomotory organ, it can be transferred to the protozoans. So it is sessile, not sessile also. They are floating on the surface area of the water bodies due to oil droplets. And you can see the structure, overlapping shells. Recall the structure of a soap box. In a soap box, you're going to keep the soap in this fashion. So you'll be keeping the soap here and you are going to cover it. Okay. So in this manner, the arrangement of diatom is also there. Okay. So this is overlapping shells and this is the outer epitheca and the lower one is the hypotheca is going to fix properly in this. And two types are based on this symmetry also here. Bilateral symmetry will be having rectangle shape and they are called as pinnales, and radial symmetry, circular shape will be having for these diatoms, then they are called centrals. So two types can be found in these diatoms based on the symmetry. Asexual reproduction is by binary fission. And sexual mode of reproduction is seen by oxospores, which are the rejuvenatory spores. And these are considered as jewels of plant kingdom. Even though they are not in the kingdom Plantae, these are photosynthetic, and that's why they are considered as jewels of plant kingdom. Not that's why they are considered as jewels of plant kingdom because of the beautiful arrangement, beautiful arrangement of silica granules on the outer epitheca. On the outer epitheca, they'll be having the silica granule deposition, which is going to give beautiful patterns. That's why these are considered as jewels of plant kingdom. Next, dinoflagellates or pyrophyta, the fire algae. These dinoflagellates, these are unicellular autotrophic, but they are biflagellate, means flagella is present in this. Okay, and here mostly these are marine. These are in the water bodies only, in the marine water bodies, ocean. Outermost cellulose cell wall is in the form of plates. So outermost cellulose cell wall is in the form of plates like this. You can see in the form of a top, it will be the flagella. As I said, biflagellate. Here it will be having a flagella like this. From the groove, this is called longitudinal groove. From this longitudinal groove, one flagella will be coming out. The another second flagella that will be in the transverse groove and it will not come out. Okay, and it is helpful in the movement. It is going to create water current. Water current and it is going to help in the movement, and they are going to cause a well. That's why they are called welling whips. They are called the welling whips. Dinoflagellates. This term relates with welling whips. One flagella lies in longitudinal and the another flagella in the transverse groove. Flagellae produce spinning movement. Just now I discussed. Uh, take in the case of a top. Top will be like this, and you'll be having a thread, and you are going to release the thread. At that time, the top is going to spin on its axis here. Okay, so this is what is happening with the dinoflagellates. Next, marine noctulica is a bioluminescent. Bio means living. Being a living organism, it is luminescent, giving light. It is giving light because of the protein called luciferin. Luciferin protein is responsible for that. And in this also chromosomes, dinoflagellates, chromosomes are without histone proteins. If you learn in detail about the structure of chromosomes in your cell body cytology class, there you will come to know the importance of histone proteins. Here, histone proteins are absent in these dinoflagellates. Red guanulax, it undergoes rapid multiplication and make the Mediterranean Sea appear red color. Mediterranean Sea is also present on the north part of the African continent. There you'll be seeing the red tides. Red tides is because of dinoflagellates. And guanulax is responsible because it will undergo rapid multiplication. As on the rapid multiplication is taking place, red color individuals are increasing, and the tides will be showing red color in the Mediterranean Sea. Next, parasitic. We have discussed photosynthetic protists, and pyrophytes are photosynthetic. Dinoflagellates are the example. Here, some more important feature, that is the parasitic nature of Balantidium can be seen, and a symbiotic association is also seen in zooxanthe. So this thing in particular you have to remember, and this is our welling whip dinoflagellate. So this dinoflagellate, you can see how the grooves are present: longitudinal line, transverse groove, and from the longitudinal groove, the flagella is coming out, and the transverse groove, it is not coming out. So this is about the pyrophytes. Next, euglenoids. Euglenoids under photosynthetic protista we are going to study. The third type, the freshwater form, euglena. Few plant-like and animal-like characters, which makes it a connecting link between plants and animals. And no cell wall is present, but a flexible pellicle is present. Botanists, they placed seeing the photosynthetic nature in Euglenophyta. That's what you are learning now. And zoologists, they placed in phylum Protozoa. In the class Mastigophora. But finally, they came to a conclusion and to make it as Phytomastigophora. Phyto means plant. Mastigophora means animal-like features. That's why it is placed under Phytomastigophora present. These euglenoids, they will be having anterior part which has a mouth called cytosome and a cytopharynx, which is a gullet. So I'll show the diagram of this euglena. We'll draw like this. Cytosome, it is the mouth, and cytopharynx is the gullet. This is the gullet. In this gullet, you'll be having one flagella coming out like this. You'll see only one flagella, but it is having two flagella, one more flagella inside the gullet only, it is present. Okay, remember that thing. One flagella is large and another short, present in gullet only. Longitudinal binary fission means lengthwise it is going to split into two equal daughter cells. Cyst formation during adverse condition. That means it is going to enclose itself. All the cellular composition is going to get enclosed. All the cellular components, it will lose the flagella and it will become round shape structure. And that too, hematochrome, red color pigment is going to surround this cyst in adverse conditions. When the conditions will become favorable, it is going to regain its same form. Palmella stage. Palmella stage is also seen during unfavorable conditions. Many euglenites, all the euglenites, they are going to come close and get surrounded by mucilage layer. It is called Palmella stage. So you can have a picture of the euglena also. So this is the euglena, the photoreceptor cell. You can see here photoreceptor point is seen. Photoreceptor means to detect light. Because euglena, it requires light for undertaking photosynthesis. It has to detect from where the light is coming, where is the light. And this photoreceptor part is going to help it detect the light. Due to certain pigment also, red color spot is seen here. This is called the stigma or eye spot. And you can see the longitudinal division. Longitudinal means the lengthwise division of the euglena. You can see it is splitting into two equal halves after developing two flagellas. I mean to say 4 flagellas, because we know one of the flagella will be in the gullet. So here, finally, after having 4 flagellas only, it can split lengthwise in the binary fission. So the next, the fungi-like, that means the saprophytic protist slime molds. In these slime molds, you can see these are saprophytic in nature, decomposing and dead organic matter they'll be utilizing for feeding. They are multinucleated mass of protoplasm. Multinucleated, these are single celled only, but all of them will make a mass collectively and surround by a membrane, mucilage membrane, and it is called, the protoplasm is also going to get dissolved in this, and it will form a plasmodium like structure. During favorable conditions, it is going to become huge and it is going to be called as plasmodium. You can see the slime mold on a bark or plant body, which is getting decomposed. On that, how it is blooming. Next, asexual reproduction is by spore formation only, and vegetative reproduction by fragmentation or sclerotia formation will be seen in the slime molds. Next, we have the protozoans, the protozoan protist, the amoeboid movement, amoeba. You can see amoeba, if you are familiar with, free living, found in freshwater, marine, and muddy areas. Some of them are parasitic and uninucleate, like amoeba, single nucleus. And there is a multinucleate, like Pelomyxa. It will be having 100 to 1000 nucleus. Okay, 10 is missing here, 100 to 1000 nucleus. This point is very important. Locomotion through pseudopodia, and they will divide by binary fission or multiple fission. Multiple fission means it is going, one single amoeba cell is going to break into many pieces. Multiple fissions will take place at one time after making the nuclear division only. Syngamy mode of sexual reproduction is seen in Pelomyxa and Alocantha. Alocantha has maximum number of chromosomes, 1600. We have only 46 chromosomes, that is 23 pairs of chromosomes, human beings. But Alocantha is having 1600 chromosomes, and this is amoeba you are familiar with, and it belongs to Sarcodina group under the protozoans. Next is the zooflagellata. The locomotory organ is flagella. These are flagellated protozoans, and flagellas are one to many. Endoparasite or pathogenic disease causing. They will be taking shelter in any organism. And here also only longitudinal binary fission will be taking place. Trypanosoma gambins causes African sleeping sickness disease. Sissy fly is the reason for that. And Leishmania donovani Leishman and Donovani, two scientists, Leishman and Donovan, they discovered this organism. That's why on the name only Leishmania donovani. It causes Kala Azar. And next we'll move on to the next, that is the ciliated protozoans. Ciliated protozoans, these are aquatic, cilia all over the body, thousands of cilia. Recall the paramecia structure. It will be having several thousands of cilia all over the body, and the presence of a gullet will be there. Paramecium is also called slipper animalcule. Balantidium. Balantidium is a pathogen. It is endoparasite. Transverse binary fission will take place. Transverse means like this, not lengthwise. Transverse. So it is going to divide into two data paramecia. This is a transverse binary fission, which is important. And conjugation is also seen. Conjugation means two of the paramecias are going to come closer. The pellicle gets dissolved and they are going to exchange the genetic material. Okay. Due to repeated binary fission, they will undertake this conjugation to regain their power. Next, protozoan, that is sporozoa. Sporozoa, this is the plasmodium. It causes malaria, disease in human beings. Plasmodia is a parasite. It will be having a spore type life cycle, spore phase life in the life cycle, and includes diverse organisms that have an infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. Endoparasite discovered by Laveran in red blood cells of human beings. Plasmodium causes malaria. So here we end up, and just take a screenshot of this assignment. Very short answers questions from the first lesson or first chapter, the living world I have given. Define metabolism, difference between anabolism and catabolism. What is systematics? Give the scientific name of mango. Identify the generic and specific epithet. What is growth? What is the difference between growth in living organisms and growth in non-living? So here I close up my session. Thanks for watching.